Sometimes you can forget that any of this has ever happened. Yeah, we do occasionally get a good day when he's back to his old self again. But nah, it doesn't last long, so you've really got to enjoy it while you can.
Times 4 is 12. 84 divided by 12.
This is something we all have to live with 24/7. It's always on your mind. I mean, Chris is the one who it affects most directly, but you could say we're all suffering from it. Of course, he doesn't mean to hurt us. He just can't see past his next fix.
This is Chris. He is 20 years old, a bright, intelligent young man with everything to live for. But Chris's future is anything but certain. He is one of the steadily growing number of Britain's young people who are living under the blight of a deadly new condition. This affliction is threatening to take Chris and the family and friends who love him to the brink of a new hell.
Clever? Yeah, he was clever. Brightest kid in the class. Always first to put his hand up. Never skipped homework. Smashing guy, really.
So you and your colleagues never saw this coming?
No, not Chris. He always had a natural flair for mental arithmetic, but all kids go through that phase at some point. We never thought it would end up like this.
You off out then, Chris?
Yeah, I'm just seeing some friends.
Are you planning to be back later?
Yeah, I suppose so.
You're not planning to see Mary McNeil and that Michael Hoybeck, are you?
No. I'll see you then.
Okay, see you later, love.
Bye.
Chris's family has learned that there is little point in trying to control where Chris goes or who he sees. This is an addiction that is mostly indulged in private anyway. When did you first suspect that something was wrong?
No, it's not something you see right away, but kenning what we ken knew, well, the clues were there all the time. And, well, when he was up in his bedroom, we thought he was reading library books or something, didn't we? But, well, knowing what we know now...
Yes, we had no idea he was asking adults to go and get him those textbooks. I mean, we just thought we were just so lucky to have a very clever child. He would finish all of the big numbered maths questions and count down long before everybody else. He was able to add up and at the checkout long before the machine could do it. Just a very clever child.
Yeah, brilliant at it.
When did you first realise you had a problem?
I don't think it is a problem. It just bothers a lot of people who don't understand.
Yeah, but could you live without maths now?
Sure, yeah. I could give up any time. It's just I'm really enjoying it. And there's a lot of rubbish spoken about maths. I mean, just because you do the odd quadratic equation, it doesn't make you some sort of criminal.
But it isn't just the odd equation with you, is it, Chris?
No, I mean, I dabble in differential calculus, which is great for parties, and if I want to relax, then sure, I'll do some trigonometry.
Differential calculus? Isn't that the hard stuff?
There's a lot of nonsense spoken about the so-called slippery slope of maths. To be honest, if somebody dabbles with logarithms, that does not automatically mean they're going to move on to matrix algebra or contour integrals. Some people use mental arithmetic their whole of their lives without any problem. Quite frankly, alcohol is a more dangerous issue.
So you think the whole thing's been hyped up?
Well, the media love a storm, don't they? They love a scandal about fractals. It sells newspapers. Maths has always been there in cultures throughout the world since time immemorial. We just have to learn not to be afraid of it.
Some experts say that we're in danger of overreacting to the maths menace. Is that what you think?
Oh, absolutely not. What we have here is the tip of the iceberg. This is more than just a few dozen losers dabbling in Euclids. These experts never have to clean up the mess left behind by maths. I've seen whole communities terrorised by Fermat's theorem. It's not a pretty sight, and it costs the country dear. We should come down hard on dealers, but we need the community's help in order to do that.
What can be done to help maths addicts?
There are drug therapies, Medication can be quite useful, especially for the ones using Goldbach's conjecture. There are side effects that put some people off, you know, feeling nauseous if somebody says, think of a number, any number, that sort of thing. They're also, the drug therapies, they're quite controversial, so not every GP will offer them under the NHS.
But what about Chris? What can be done for him?
Well, Chris, I'm afraid, unfortunately, there is no cure for him as yet. You see, he's a crystal meth addict. There's no one more damaged than that.
Do you ever think there'll come a day when you won't need crystal meth anymore?
It's my life. It's not like I'm doing anything really dangerous, like second-order singularities or algebraic topology. And I mean, that's okay too if you take the right precautions, like proper needle exchange.
So, Riemann's hypothesis, tridiagonal matrices, crystal meth. Are these the menace that will destroy our society from within? Or are they merely part of a way of life that we'll all have to come to terms with? Should we be more vigilant, protect our loved ones more? Perhaps the last word should go to Chris's parents.
Our advice to their parents is to look for the telltale signs. The messy bedroom, but in particular, protractors lying on the bedroom floor. I'd knocked the shopping ball was another one, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then, of course, the never-ending formulas. Pi r squared, the square root, the root of all evil that was. Yeah, well, it all sounded so harmless at the time, but he's so calculating.
And that's the problem. I mean, they look like everybody else. My son is not a monster. He needs help.